Hello, everybody. It is the Dark Conservatarian, and I'm actually here driving on the job. In case you go wondering of what is up with the background of the car that I'm driving in, actually right now. And so I just got done listening to the Martha McSally and Mark Kelly debate for the Senate race that is happening in Arizona. That is the only other debate that happening this year outside of the presidential debates that I at least know of explicitly. Anyways, I mean, I'm sure that there are more debates happening this election cycle, but that's the only other one that I heard of explicitly, and so I thought I'd give it a listen and just give my quick thoughts in a car rant vlog, whatever. I'll probably do more of these when I go listen to official, professional, candidatory debates like this. Political candidate debates, that is. And so, what did I think about the debate? Full disclosure, I guess I'm poisoning the well a bit here, but overall, I thought Mark Kelly won that one. Like, Mark Kelly just came off as more natural. Mark Kelly is the Democrat running, and Martha McSally is the incumbent Republican senator in Arizona, gone replacing John McCain ever since he had died. But I digress. Mark Kelly is the one. He just came off more natural as compared to Martha McSally. Martha McSally just came off as completely unnatural, nervous, and just she had this certain tone of voice to her that just sounded forced. Like she sounded like she was tired and was trying to force herself to be passionate or something. It just, it just came off unnatural. And might I just say, speaking of presentation, that freaking Mark Kelly looked quite like Lex Luthor from Superman. That's just my personal opinion, though, because of his bald ass head and all that stuff. But nobody really cares about presentation or cordiality, mannerisms, and whatnot. When it comes to a debate, what really matters is the policy side of the issue. Now, when it comes to policy, I do not fully know of what the exact policy is of these two people. I mean, there was a whole lot of disputing over what was true and whatnot, but purely just looking at what was presented in the debate, I would say that ultimately I agree with McSally a little bit more than Kelly, which would probably mean that if I lived in Arizona, despite how much I thought that she had lost the debate, I would still probably hold my nose and vote for her nonetheless, just because of the policy agreements more than anything. But even on the policy front, when them two were talking about the more substantive issues, Mark Kelly seemed to have come out a little bit over McSally on that front. Although there is one funny thing that happened, like in the earlier parts of that debate, of where that he was all like, McSally here goes questioning my patriotism, and I could not help but laugh at that. Like, bitch, I will question your patriotism as well if I see that you're for gun control or anything else like that I perceive to be unconstitutional like that. If you're like for restrictions on freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to own guns, etc., I will say that is fairly unpatriotic, and I will start questioning your patriotism. I'm sorry. And there was also the question about his implied sympathies towards China, although that was kind of disputed as well. Like, Kelly kept on insisting that he does realize that China is a geopolitical, well, not necessarily threat, but adversary nonetheless. But at the same time, McSally was mentioning of how when Kelly went into space, I guess he was an astronaut at some point, that he had took a Chinese Communist Party emblem or something like that with him in space. And so it was just a big old turnoff at that point. And so it kind of gives the implications that maybe he's bullshitting about how he feels against China, and really he's not really that much against China. But nonetheless, McSally, he's for like red flag laws. That's probably one of the big things of when that comes as big red flag to me as to why that I would not vote for Kelly. For one thing, I mean, he kept on saying that I am for the Second Amendment and stuff like that. But at the same time, you're for red flag laws. If you say that you're for red flag laws, then that really calls into question, like, I'm just gonna call BS on your supposed pro-2A stance that you self-avowed to have. Anyways, I'll be right back, folks. Alright, so I'm back. Where was I at with my train of thought? I can't remember exactly. Um, one other thing that was disputed, like, as far as, or, excuse me, let me restart that statement. Further extension in talking about policy and so forth, when it comes to things like immigration and so forth, Mark Kelly might be one of the more moderate Democrat candidates out there. But at the same time, what's kind of self-defeating of that sort of moderate look is the idea and the fact that he embraces more radical candidates and supports them. And that's one of the things that was not disputed by Mark Kelly. Like, Mark Kelly disputed a lot of claims by Martha McSally. And that's kind of one of the things that puts McSally in a bad light, on top of the fact that she just kept on name calling him Counterfeit Kelly. That was another thing that put her in a bad light. But I digress. What really self-defeats on his whole moderate look is the fact that he embraces and supports more radical candidates like Ilhan Omar, and embraces AOC's New Deal, Green New Deal, and also supports Beto O'Rourke as well. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I think he might have, if I remember correctly, listened to that debate, that he disputed somewhat the Green New Deal claim as well. But nonetheless, he did not dispute the candidates that McSally says that he supports, that Kelly supports. And, yeah, so it's just really self-defeating at that point. And so, yeah. Again, this is just my quick thoughts on the debate. And overall, what I have to say, I say that McSally lost. Sorry. And I'd probably vote for her if I was living in Arizona, just because of a higher agreement with her than with Kelly on the policy side of issues. But ultimately, it's almost seeming to me like she's probably gonna lose at this point. That's just my opinion, though. Tell me what you all think in the comment section down below. Who do you think won this debate, and what do you think of the two candidates in general, Martha McSally and Mark Kelly? Anyway, see y'all later, and God bless.